On this week's episode, we're discussing goals and achievement, two things that are so liquid in nature they're difficult for anyone to capture. And it's important to realize that the difficulty lies not just with you, but with everyone. Welcome back to MugenCast. This time it's episode 21. Dimitri Williams solo dolo this time around in my studio, aka my car and or my apartment. I'm gonna have to change that intro eventually. But what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Quick podcast today, most likely. Probably won't run that long. I say that, but watch it be like 45 minutes for my longer episodes. But just the usual, going to be doing a quick update and also kind of a creative-ish life type topic. So hope you enjoy that. But to just get right into it, get right into the update, what I've been up to. Not much. I mean, not much out of the ordinary, I should say. Things are kind of progressing as usual. So the next project I was talking about in my last episode, the Purpose episode 20. I almost said 19 for some reason, but episode 20. That project is starting to take form. I kind of have the people organized who are going to be in it. Now I kind of just need to do the boring but necessary like planning of the scenes and the shots and all that different type of stuff. Get that going. And then I'll be in good shape, and then we can kind of start going forward with that. But that's starting to take form pretty well. Photography has been going pretty good too. I've come up with kind of like a new editing style recently. If you're following me on Instagram at Mugen_IG, make sure you are following me. But yeah, I've been using a new editing style. It's a lot kind of more moody, somber, mysterious a little bit. I've been looking for editing style for a while, and I think I finally hit it now. I played around in Lightroom for a long time to get it the way I wanted it to be, but the kind of messing that tone curve, and this is kind of just like photographer jargon if you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's like a tone curve that I've started using in Lightroom has really kind of transformed my photos and made things really, really dope. So that's been going pretty well. Hope you guys have been liking that new theme. And then also I've been just finding some consistency just generally with the content I'm putting out. I kind of understand that's, I'm going to be a podcast, a blog post, post on Instagram throughout the week, and a project usually kind of going on in the background. I want to add a little bit more video type stuff to that, not just the throwaways, but I don't know, something else I need to add to that formula. But I'll brainstorm over that in the next upcoming weeks. But that's kind of the formula I'm running with right now. What else? Oh, also the podcast is expanding. So currently I'm just on iTunes, I believe, maybe TuneIn Radio, but I'm going to be expanding into Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. I'm going to be staying on iTunes, of course, and also YouTube. Get the podcast there. I guess that counts. But yeah, so podcast is going to be expanding. So if you, I don't know, for some reason don't like listening to MugenCast on iTunes, you can get it on some of those other platforms I mentioned. And that should be happening in the next week, hopefully. So by the time you're listening to hopefully this episode, they'll be all up and running and ready to go. But yeah, so the MugenCast is growing. So that's nice. And also this weekend I actually got a chance to take a little journey into the city, did some photography, hung out with a girlfriend for her birthday. So that was pretty dope. But it kind of had me start thinking about like where I want to move next, how this creative stuff is going to be taking form when I kind of move on to the next stage of I guess my professional life or more kind of formal life, where I'm going to be living and moving to. Some I was just kind of contemplating, but I think I want to do kind of near the city but not in the city, if you know what I mean, because being down there from living in the suburbs just over the weekend, I was just kind of like, oh, this is a little bit annoying. Like the city kind of wears on you very quickly. The like uncalled for agitation of the people, the congestion. It's like cool at first, but then it's just like, all right, time to go. But at the same time, the photography opportunities there are great. If you looked at my story over the past few days, you'll have seen that I posted a lot of different, just like quick random pictures I took, but it's just so much more substance and so many interesting subjects to shoot down there. It's really dope. So that kind of got me thinking a little bit, but that's down the road. Trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing? I think that's it for the update. But now to get into the true purpose of this here podcast, I want to discuss the puzzle and it's kind of an analogy I've been using recently to describe life. And the reason I've been kind of doing it this way, because every time I think I have it figured out, and every time I think I have one piece kind of down pat, I realize that that's far from the whole, basically, and it's a lot more that goes into it than just that one individual section. So for me, one thing that was really kind of bothering me in the past few weeks, months, even, but I'm kind of starting to get through it now, which is why I wanted to bring it up in this episode, is the whole envious thing that I was alluding to on, I think now probably 4 or 5 episodes ago. And now that I was some of these figures that I really looked up to, I was starting to look into more. I'm starting to realize that it's life is just hard universally, honestly. More and more, I'm starting to realize that looking up to someone, and maybe more aptly saying envying someone, is really not worth it, because it seems like it seems like no matter how successful you are, problems still continuously are there. Sorry for the audio, random car driving by in the background. But like I was saying, it seems like no matter how big you think someone has gotten or how untouchable they are, the same, or at least similar life problems that are plaguing you are probably plaguing them as well. Maybe just on a different level, but it's no one has it together, really. It's kind of thing I'm starting to take from this, and kind of, and I don't want to sound like in a bad way of that you should take solace in the fact that someone else isn't doing well. That's not good whatsoever. But I guess take a little, respect in the fact that where you are right now necessarily isn't that bad. Granted, I don't know the individual life situation of everyone who's listening to this, but at the same time, I don't know, taking that step back can really be helpful in realizing where you are is not necessarily where you have to be in a given period amount of times, or where it's not where you're going to stay. And also that next level that you might be looking towards and where you want to go might not be what you think it will be. That kind of got a little confusing, but hope you're picking up what I'm putting down there. But I was kind of starting to think about it like this. One kind of group, which it's almost like I closet envied them, was actors. I always thought actors for some reason had like the coolest lives. Like, you get to play this completely different character, different from yourself. A lot of different characters as well. You have fame. You have, well, if you're a good actor and you're popular in movies and things like that, you have enough money to sustain yourself. And it just seemed like life is going so good for that group of people, and I was kind of like jealous of that a little bit, and I do that a lot with a lot of different things. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, how many different celebrities or actors do you hear about going to rehab or having some type of life issue, or just something that's plaguing them as well? And I'm like, well, damn, if they don't have it together, like what am I even looking up to at this point? And that just kind of hit me a little bit when I was kind of thinking of the idea for this next episode, and I was like, man, this envying someone is it's really not worth it at the end of the day. And the largest goals that we aim for, so say success or strength, happiness, things like that, they're so like ethereal. I think it's ethereal. It's that they're so hard to capture, basically. People that you think have it oftentimes don't have it, or if they do have one of those things, those large goals, they may not have it in the way that you think. Example, so you think, let's go back to the whole actor example. You think that an actor is successful just because they're doing well in their career, have all their needs and wants taken care of. But once you reach that, and this is why I've realized, once you reach a certain goal, or you think you've reached it, it oftentimes is something you're unfamiliar with, or it's something other than what you initially thought it was. Success seems like money, fame, and all that type of stuff. But from a lot of rich people I've met or talked to, or seen give interviews and things like that, oftentimes those things become very hollow very fast. It's like you reach that goal that you've been pining for and going after for so long, and then you get there and it's like, all right, well, what next? This isn't even the full experience I thought I would get. This was only one piece of the puzzle, like I was saying before. And they change so quickly. Success is one thing one day, and then to you it might be something else another day. And you kind of have to be adaptable in that way, and think to yourself that just looking at what you're looking at right now is only one dimension of the greater whole that you're chasing. money is only one dimension of success. Fame is only one dimension of happiness. It goes a lot deeper than that. And it's just, I don't know, it kind of hits so hard. It hits home for me in terms of the strength goal. Because I remember when I was, quick little story time here. When I was in, I believe, high school, it might have been high school or middle school, I was very skinny, scrawny, not really like big at all. I was kind of tall, but that was about it. And I became kind of obsessed with this like image of strength. I would think of like boxers or like professional athletes, and I would think like that's true strength. That's what it means to be strong. Those people have it, they have it figured out. Like they're impeccable in what they do, and they must be so self-confident, and they must feel so great. And then I remember, I think it was a basketball player, an NBA player actually, DeMar DeRozan, a player I had looked up to, kind of, and he came out and said that he struggles with mental health issues. He struggles with depression, things like that. And so many other athletes that you come out and you hear so many professional athletes, really, that come out and you hear their stories, and you think that, especially coming from my perspective, when I was looking up to these people, it really hit me to think that, wow, all these guys, these men and women that I thought were just so perfect, and like the ideal image of what strong is, and how I should be, what I should be chasing, and the type of person I should be, they all have their own internal problems too. And just thinking about it that way, it just made it a lot more real to me what goals and achievements and things like that are. They're temporary checkpoints, not necessarily completed works, I guess. When you are sitting at one perspective, so me at now 21, when I'm thinking of success right now is going to change once I reach that goal. I'm pretty much positive of it at this point. And I think that applies for everyone. The goals that we can only conceive goals that are applicable to the selves that we are right now. We can't really see beyond ourselves, say 5-10 years down the line. It's a little bit too difficult for us in that way. Not to say that we're not smart or anything, but it's just kind of hard to conceive what will be after where you are now, if you're not at that next step yet, which is fair. And for me, I just kind of think more about this. I don't know. I think more about this now that I've gotten older than I ever have before. And it's being proved to me on a day-to-day basis. So it's like a point that's constantly on my mind. I know I kind of touched on this in other podcasts and things of that nature, but I think it was worth revisiting just one last time really quick and kind of putting this discussion to bed somewhat. Trying to think if there's any other angles of this I haven't covered. I think that's it, actually. Keep it really quick because, like I said, I had discussed this before. But I just kind of wanted to go into it one more time on a little quick episode. But I want to elaborate, not necessarily elaborate, but kind of get it a little bit more cohesive, because I know, at least for me, when I'm recording, I can get all jumbled in my mind and my thoughts and stuff like that. So I will put out a blog post as well that kind of goes hand in hand with this episode, so you can kind of maybe get the full effect of what I meant to impart to you here. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to cover? Oh, also, I'm looking forward to hopefully having a guest on next week. I think I'm going to bring on Steve. I remember we were supposed to do a podcast a little bit ago, so I want to bring him on, kind of do more of an interview style with him, because I think Steve has a really interesting life, interesting story, and he is, I don't know, he's a thinker for sure. I think he would make for a great guest, so look forward to that, hopefully. I have to check with him on his schedule, but look forward to that hopefully on next week's episode. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, I think that'll be it. So that's been MugenCast episode 21. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you're supporting me on all my other platforms if you can do so, at Mugen.ig on Instagram, at Tales of Mugen on Twitter, and